You're about to discover the 3 main reasons your business can't scale. By the way, when I say scale, I'm not just talking about incremental growth. I'm talking about exponential growth. I'm talking about your business should be multiplying. In nature, everything grows by multiplication. It's unnatural for things to grow by addition. So how do I make my business scale? What does scale mean? It means geometric growth. It means exponential growth. It means it's twice as good this year as it was last year. It's not just a little bit better. You don't want to increase by 10, 20, 30%. You want to increase by 100%, 200%, 300% growth year over year. How can you do that? Or better yet, what's keeping your business from doing that right now? That's what we're about to talk about in this video. So the first main reason your business can't scale is because you have the wrong business model. Wrong business model. What does the wrong business model mean? There are different kinds of business models. So your the wrong business model is the worst business model in the world is what I call the wantrepreneur business model. Now you might be thinking, there's no such word as wantrepreneur. Sure there is, I made it up. So wantrepreneur business model. What is the wantrepreneur business model? The wantrepreneur business model is LP times LV. That equals wantrepreneur. LP times LV, what does that stand for? Low profit times low volume. There are literally millions of entrepreneurs all over the world who have low profit, low volume business. When they make a sale, they make a little bit of money. They make $5, they make $10, they make $15, and they only make 6 sales a month. So they have low profit, they have low volume, they want to be an entrepreneur, but they don't know how. There are a lot of people in the multi-level marketing space that are entrepreneurs. There are a lot of people in the affiliate marketing space that are entrepreneurs. There are a lot of people in the coaching space who are entrepreneurs. They have this little bitty coaching program and they charge $100 an hour and they get 6 clients a month and they wonder why they're struggling. You're a entrepreneur. Stop being a entrepreneur. How do you fix the entrepreneur? Well, you either have to fix the profit or you have to fix the volume or you have to fix both. But one of the main reasons businesses don't scale is because you have an entrepreneur business model. See, somebody told you that if you sign up for this business plan, this marketing program, if you sign up for this and you sell our lotions, potions, travel, whatever. By the way, I'm not making fun of multi-level marketing. I have made more money in a month doing multi-level marketing than I've ever made in a year at a job. So multi-level marketing, network marketing, whatever you want to call it, can be a real business. But for most people who are in it, it is not. Because the profits, they don't build a distributorship. They don't build multiple distributors in their organization, so they don't scale points of distribution. And the profit they make on each thing sold is too low for them to create wealth for their family. So what you're really doing is you're being leveraged by somebody who understands what's going on, and they showed you what they wanted you to think is going on. And if you're in a multi-level marketing business, unless you are actively recruiting new distributors who actually move volume, you are not an entrepreneur, you are a wantrepreneur. Okay, so you have to fix that. If you got an e-commerce business and you got these products that you sell on Shopify or you sell them on eBay or you sell them on Amazon, but you're only making 10 sales a month and you make $15 every time you make a sale, that's $150 a month, you are not an entrepreneur, you are a wantrepreneur. Okay, you have the wrong business model. So a better business model than that is business model B. And you can scale this to some degree, but you have to make sure you make the right moves in order to scale it. And that is what I call the entrepreneur business model. So what is the entrepreneur business model? Entrepreneur is the business model where you have high profit times low volume equals entrepreneur. That's where most entrepreneurs are. They have high profit. So I remember when I was an entrepreneur and I thought I was a baller, right? I was making $30,000 a month. I had my little $500 packages, right? I had my $1,000 packages. I had my little $100 programs that I would sell, and I would sell enough of those to make about $30,000 a month. Well, $30,000 a month was about the maximum amount I've ever made in a year in my life. And I can remember, almost like it was yesterday, it was in somewhere around 2004, 2005, I think. I went to a Robert Allen wealth retreat. Now, Robert Allen's the guy that wrote the book, No Money Down. He wrote Multiple Streams of Income. He wrote Multiple Streams of Internet Income. He's the co-author of The 1 Minute Millionaire. And I went to a wealth retreat that he put on. And he asked for somebody to come up to the stage and give a testimony who had used his information to make money. Well, one of his programs that I had was called Infopreneuring. It was like 6 CDs, and I listened to it every day for years. I know that sounds weird, right? Like people say, well, I read that book already. I heard that already. I've already been in that coaching. I literally listened to this audio program every day for years. I didn't listen to the whole thing every day, but it stayed in my car. I just listened to it over and over and over and over and over again because I wanted that to be integrated into my DNA. I wanted what he knew to be in my DNA. And I said, yeah, man, I used to be a trash man. I was making $6.25 an hour. I used some of the stuff I learned from some of your books and some of your programs, and now I'm making $30,000 a year. $30,000 a month. My expenses are $5,000 a month. I live like a king, and I'm basically, virtually rich compared to what I used to be. I was like a baller. He said, man, you're doing really good. This is in front of 700 people. He said, you're doing really good. You're about to have a breakthrough to really big money. I was so confused. First, I was a little irritated, right? Keeping it real. I was a little irritated. I'm like, did he just diss my $30,000 a month in front of these 700 people? You asked me for the testimony, bro. I didn't ask you, right? And now you dissing me. Wait. There's a level where $30,000 a month ain't a lot of money. Let me get to that level. So wrap your mind around what just happened. Like, just in the way he said it, and he said it so nonchalantly. It wasn't like he was like casting shade on me. It wasn't like he was disrespecting me. He just, like, the thing that came to his mind came out of his mouth. And that thing that came out of his mouth gave me a new perspective. There is a level where $30,000 a month is peanuts. Lord, I can't wait to get to that level. And so that is an entrepreneur. I was an entrepreneur. I was making $30,000 a month consistently. Like I had money in my bank accounts. I had money in my safe. I could buy anything I wanted. And I thought I was a baller. If I had a month where I made $30,000, where my business did $30,000 in revenue now, I'd wonder, like, where have I messed up? So that's the entrepreneur level. Now, this is one that's really, really good. I know a lot of people who are really good at this one. I'm not great at this. I do it some, but this is not my primary business model. But this is by the way, you can scale the entrepreneur business model. If you're gonna scale the entrepreneur business model, you need to scale it based on either automation or delegation or both. Automation, you need software or technology to do some of the activities of that business. Back when I was in the insurance business, one of the pieces of technology that we used to have auto dialers. They probably still have them today, right? And the auto dialer would dial a bunch of people's phone numbers and like prospect. The people who'd call back, we'd only call people who were interested. That way we didn't waste our time prospecting, right? Okay, so that's technology. Another piece of technology you could use is you could use an opt-in funnel, right? Where you give people something for free in exchange for some information that's valuable, and then they give you their name and their email address and their phone number, and then you can contact those people and offer them the things that you have for sale, right? So in the entrepreneur business model, you can scale using either automation or you can scale using delegation. Some of the stuff that you have to do in fulfillment of the stuff you've sold, you hire somebody else to do that stuff. That's called delegation. So delegation and automation will give you the ability to scale your $30,000 a month business to $60,000 a month, to $100,000 a month, to $150,000 a month, to whatever. It gives you the ability to do that. Okay, so the next business model is what I call the Waltrepreneur business model. What is the Waltrepreneur business model? By the way, for those of you who've read B.O.S.S Moves, my B.O.S.S Moves book, you know these business models are in my book. And this is low profit times high volume equals the Waltrepreneur. This is the Sam Walton business model. Sam Walton had a motto. Sam Walton's motto was, I don't ever want to make more than 30% markup on the stuff I sell. If I get a good deal from a vendor, I'm going to pass that deal on to my customers. He said, if I usually pay $1.50 for something and I end up getting it for $1, I'm only going to mark it up to $1.30. Sam Walton became the richest man in the world on a 30% margin. Wrap your mind around that. I can't 30% margin. 30% margin almost gives me, when I say it, it almost gives me a toothache. 30% margin. I don't even like it. I don't even like the way that feels. But for people who are Waltrepreneurs, that's people who have Amazon stores, people who have Shopify stores, people who have e-commerce businesses where they sell thousands of units of a thing on the internet. That is a entrepreneur business model. There are literally thousands of little Sam Waltons running around all over the world who sell, somebody might be at the door, guys, running around all over the world who are like making thousands of dollars a month, tens of thousands of dollars a month, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, millions of dollars a month in e-commerce because they have the entrepreneur business model. Now, I don't like, I saw, it's really interesting. Here's what you have to do. You have to build your business in a way that it serves you at the highest level, so it gives you the energy and bandwidth to serve your clients at the highest level. So one of the mistakes that I made is I used to like follow the money. I don't think following the money is a good way to create wealth. Not following the money alone, right? Because I saw other people were making money on Amazon. I thought other people were making money on Amazon, like selling stuff. So I'm going to make money on Amazon. So one of my friends who was making money on Amazon, so yeah, I just go to Dollar Tree. I buy a bunch of cheap stuff, and then I sell it on Amazon and make a profit. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. So I went to Dollar Tree, bought a bunch of stuff. Then I came home, and then I had to inventory that stuff, and then I had to create spreadsheets, like the spreadsheet. That made my back hurt when I said that word. And then I had to ship the stuff to Amazon, and then I'm like, why would anybody do this? This makes me want to pull my eyelashes out handfuls at a time. I hate this, right? And so I didn't like the entrepreneur business model for me. It's not that it's a bad business model, it's just a bad business model for me, right? Because I don't like minutia. I feel like when I'm doing like minutia, I feel like a little gerbil, right? I don't like it. So, but it's a good business model for people who do like it. I got a friend here in Tampa. This guy, he built an 8-figure business in 3 years with the entrepreneur business model. What? So you have to find the business model that matches your DNA, that matches your personality, that matches who you are and how you are if you're going to build a business that scales. Okay, the fourth kind of business model, this is my favorite. This is the business model that I focus on. I call this the wealth-trepreneur business model. Wealth-trepreneur, what is that? Oh, you're about to learn something now. Wealth-trepreneur, what's wealth-trepreneur? High profit times high volume equals wealth-trepreneur. This is my favorite. So for instance, like high profit. What's high profit? This is gonna sound crazy. My lowest priced high profit products are books. And the reason books are great, like low-priced, high-profit products is because I self-publish. Why do I self-publish? I self-publish because why would I pay a publisher 40% and then pay the bookstore 35% and then pay the book distributor 15% and then I get 10% of a $20 book, so every time I sell a $20 book, I make $2. Well, there is a time when that makes sense, but this ain't that time, right? And so, when you become an author, you learn things that people who want to become authors don't know. So, for instance, here's one of the things you learn. A bookstore is the worst place in the world to sell your book. Now, how many of y'all, that's shocking, right? A bookstore is a terrible place for you to sell your book because people go in bookstores looking for books they already know they want to buy. So if they don't know who you are, they don't want to buy your book. But if they do know who you are, then maybe they want to buy your book, right? But also, a bookstore is a terrible place to sell your book because you're competing with 50,000 other titles. You want to know something really amazing? Where I sell my B.O.S.S Moves book, this book right here, this book that I sell for $30, this paperback book that I sell for $30 cost me about $2.50 to print. That's high profit. How high? Like, it's more than 1,000%. Do you hear what I just said? It's more than 1,000% profit on this book. I make more than 1,000% profit on this book. Okay, why am I telling you that? Because this is a low-priced, high-profit product. Now, I don't know how many we sold this month, but last month we sold 700 copies. And here's what's cool. We didn't sell them in a bookstore. We sold them on our website, on the funnel for this book. BossMovesBook.com. On BossMovesBook.com, we sold 700 of these at $30. Now, that's not a fortune, but it is $21,000 extra dollars. Plus shipping, which is $10, times 700, is another $7,000. So now, $28,000 this book brought in last month. Waltrepreneur. This is a low price, high profit product. right? I like selling that book because this book does everything I needed to do. It gives me at least 1,000% markup. I like selling consulting. Why? Well, because I'm good at it. So therefore I can charge a lot for it. How much do you charge? I charge $40,000 an hour. Say, but I don't have $40,000. I know plenty of coaches that'll coach you for less, but I ain't one of them. Right? And so that's high profit. I talk for an hour, I make $40,000. I did a 45-minute presentation last month. I just got the wire transfer, and that wasn't even a coaching. That was just me. That was me coming here, talking for 45 minutes on a Zoom call. I talked for 45 minutes on a Zoom call. When I came here and talked for 45 minutes on a Zoom call, I was helping some other entrepreneur make sales of their offer. They wired my deposit yesterday. It was $38,000 for that 45 minutes. And here's the reality. I forgot I even did it until the guy texted me, said, you should get your money any day now. I'm thinking, what money? Oh, that's right. I did a presentation. I forgot about that. Why am I telling you? I'm telling you this so you can understand that there is a business model out there that's easier to scale, and that is the Wealthtrepreneur business model. So high profit, high volume. So that the first reason, you have the wrong business model. If this is your business model, you're gonna be stuck like Chuck in a pickup truck. That's the first reason your business can't scale, because you're a entrepreneur. Okay, if you're an entrepreneur, it can scale, but you have to do it the right way with automation and delegation. Okay, second reason your business can't scale, and by the way, scale means exponential growth, is because, don't let this hurt your feelings too bad, but let it hurt them, okay? No one wants your product. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants what you sell. They don't want your product. They don't want your service. So you go out and offer it, people say no. No, 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 N-O, no. It's a two-letter word. What part you're having a hard time with the N or the O? No. I told you no already. I don't want to buy your thing, right? So people don't want your product. Why don't people want your product? Because you started your business in the wrong place. Where'd you start it? You started it in here. You came up with this idea that you thought was great. That's why you're the only one buying the product that you created. You're buying it from the manufacturer and then it sits in your garage because you thought it was a great idea. Right? Or you started your business here. I've always wanted to start this kind of business. Too bad, so sad, you've been had. I'm a poet and I know it. Because don't start the business you want to start. Don't sell the stuff you want to sell. Don't invent the thing you want to invent. Only write books people want to pay to read. Only create products people want to pay to own. Only provide services people want to pay to have served to them. Stop creating stuff because you want to. Nobody's going to pay you to do the stuff you want to do. They're going to pay you to do the stuff they want you to do. Is that too tough? Because I've always wanted to write a book and tell my story. Here's the problem with that. Nobody don't want to read about your story. Nobody cares about your story but you and your mama, and she don't want to read about it. She was there when it happened. Stop wanting to write a book about your story. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about my story. Nobody cares about your story. Write the book the marketplace wants to pay to read. Everybody say pay to read. Pay to read. Create the product people want to pay to acquire. If they don't want to pay for it, they don't want it. Nobody wants your product. I know that sounds hurtful and it sounds mean, but I'm like, somebody got to tell you the truth. Because you out there in them streets trying to sell something nobody wants to buy. Okay, nobody wants it. Why don't they want it? Well, they don't want your product, number one, because it doesn't fix their problem. It's not a fix. It doesn't fix their problem. It doesn't matter if you think your solution is good for their problem. It only matters if they think your solution is good for their problem. How many of y'all tracking? And I see it all the time. I watch people sell, and I'm listening to them talk, and I'm thinking to myself, do you even hear what you're saying? Like, are you listening to yourself right now? Because you sound crazy. It's interesting. So I knowing myself the way I do, I hate the phone. I hate phones. I don't like talking on them. I don't want to answer it, but I do. I return phone calls. I don't like phones because they're usually interrupting me while I'm doing something I already desire to do. If I desired to talk to you, I'd call you and let you hate your phone, right? That's way too honest, isn't it? Okay. Well, here's the thing. This dude called me, and when people call me and I don't know who they are, the first thing I do is look at my phone and I look at the number and I'm like, Why did I answer? Oh, I answered this because the plumber was coming. I thought this might be him. Okay. Now, why does this person have my number? And so they call me, and they want to take my time. And it's only going to take 5 minutes. It's not going to take 5 minutes. It's going to take 5 more minutes. Right? So when people say, oh, it's only going to take a second, when somebody says it's only going to take a second, now it's time for me to get off the phone. Now, I don't have a second. I'm in the middle of something right now. Because people who exaggerate that much, they will waste your whole day. Right? So this guy, okay, well, we've got this really great thing, and we want to talk to you about solar. And I love salespeople. So I'm like, I hate the phone, but I love salespeople, right? And if somebody's got a good sales presentation, I want to hear it because they may have something good that I want to buy, but even if they don't, there's a lesson in their sales presentation I can learn. Even if they're bad, I can learn what not to do. If they're good, I can learn what to do. So I like having conversations with salespeople, and I want to support salespeople because I think salespeople make the world go round. Right? I got mad respect for people who sell stuff. But this guy called me, and then I said, okay, call me next week. Well, instead of calling me next week, I'm here shooting video. He shows up at my house. My wife calls me and says, this dude's at the house, and he's at my house. Why? Why are you at my house? So I called him, and I said, so what's going on? Well, I thought I was going to meet you here to do a presentation. Okay, time out. You sell solar, right? Okay. What's the point? Well, we can save you $500 a year, maybe even $2,000 a year. So already, this is not for me. It's going to cost me more than $2,000 to have a conversation with you about saving $2,000 a year. So this is a mismatch, right? And so they want to sell solar because that's important to them because they want to save the planet. I believe that God's going to rebuild the planet. He's going to burn it down and rebuild the whole thing. So, I'm not trying to save the planet. That's not my religion. But if it's yours, I'm not mad at you. So I'm not trying to save the planet. But I do believe that we should take care of our environment. I believe that, right? But I'm not a planet worshiper. I don't care about saving money on my electric bill. I don't have any idea how much my electric bill is. I have no idea how much it is. It's automatic. It's on auto pay. So here's how much it is. It's zero. It just gets paid every month. I don't know how much it is, right? It doesn't matter. If I'm focused, by the way, a lot of people don't get this. If you spend too much of your thought, effort, and energy on conserving what you have, you're using energy that you could be using to create more than you have, which would serve you much better than saving the little that you have. Which would you rather do, save 10% or make 10 times more? The same energy that it requires to save 10% could help you make 10 times what you're making now, and then you could care less about saving 10%. Anyway, it's just a thought. So, it doesn't fix their problem. Well, his solution didn't fix my problem, because my problem was not my electric bill. My problem was, you're calling me and now you're at my house. That's my problem. So I called the guy and said, look, here's the thing, dude. Your product is not for me. I love salespeople. I want you to do well. I wish you well, but your product is not for me. I'm not your customer. I promise you I'm not your customer, and it's okay. You're going to do great, just not with me. There's no universe in which I'm going to sit down and talk to you about for an hour or 30 minutes or 10 minutes about saving $500 on my electric bill. It's not going to happen. So they don't want, they don't want to fix the problem. Some people don't want to fix the problem because their problem is the only excuse they have for their life not working. So if you have a solution, they don't want your solution because if you fix their problem, now they got to deal with them. That's real talk. The other reason is they don't understand your product or service. Why don't they understand it? They don't understand. Well, they don't understand because either you have done a poor job of explaining to them why your solution is the ultimate solution to their problem they know they have. And see, it's not their responsibility to decipher what you say in your cryptic sales message while you're trying to impress them with the value of your product. It's your job to make them see clearly that the best solution and the best hope they have of making their experience of life better is by saying yes to the offer you're making them. So sometimes they don't understand it just because you're not good at explaining it, okay? 3, they don't have the capacity. They don't have the capacity to fix the problem. In other words, they don't have, what does that mean? That means even if they bought it, they don't have the ability to implement the thing that they bought, right? They don't have the capacity. So if that's the case, you're selling to the wrong people. Capacity could mean they don't have the money. Capacity means they don't have the intelligence to use the thing that you sold them to fix their problem. It could mean they don't have the capacity. It could mean they're not coachable enough. It could mean they're not going to make themselves available enough. But those are some of the reasons your business don't scale. The third reason your business won't scale is because nobody wants. The second reason nobody wants your product or service. Next is you're selling to the wrong people. All right, and I already said. So 1, your business model is wrong. 2, no one wants your product or service. 3, you're selling to the wrong people. You're selling to people who don't want to fix the problem. You're selling to people who don't have the money to fix the problem. Here's one of the biggest problems you have, especially minorities. And I'm going to talk to minorities because I is one, and so therefore I can talk to us and nobody can say I'm a racist, okay? So here it is. We want to fix the problems in our community that we used to have, that the people who we're trying to fix them for don't want them fixed yet. At least they don't want them fixed the most. Stop trying to save people. Jesus is the only Savior. And when you try to save people from their situation against their will, you're going to frustrate yourself and irritate them. Okay? So they don't want to fix the problem. They don't have the money to fix the problem. And so because of those things, either you have the wrong business model, or no one wants your product or service, or you're selling to the wrong people, your business can't scale. Now, I'm gonna do a part 2 to this and tell you the other 4 reasons your business can't scale. So once you got these fixed, then there's 4 other things you gotta fix in order to get your business to scale. But you fix those, you're off to a good start. So I hope this video helps you. If it did, feel free to share it with somebody, like it, comment, whatever. Even if you disagree, I like those comments too. As long as you're not calling people names and being kind, like not being rude. Hey, I like it when people disagree with me. Sometimes you're right and I'm wrong. Okay, in the meantime, in between time, peace out, Cub Scout.